Okay, so imagine if someone took the idea of a tiny Japanese K-car, mixed it with Dacia's no-nonsense personality and said, let's make something honest, simple, and kinda cool. That's exactly what Dacia just did with the new Dacia Hipster Concept, a small, electric city car that's not trying to be fancy or futuristic, but just practical, affordable, and a bit rebellious. The name Hipster already tells you it's going for something different. Not your usual serious concept car, not your usual expensive EV either. It's fun, boxy, tiny, and looks like it belongs in a cartoon city where every parking spot fits perfectly. Dacia says it's about 3 meters long. That's shorter than most hatchbacks on the road right now. You could probably fit 2 of these where a normal SUV parks. Now the design, where it's classic. Dacia minimalism turned up to 11. The body panels are super simple, almost flat with this chunky, tough vibe. The bumpers and claddings look rugged enough to handle a few scratches. You can tell they're using a lot of recycled materials. It's part of the whole idea. Build something light, cheap, and eco-friendly. Instead of shiny chrome, you've got rough textures. Instead of fancy door handles, there are simple straps. It's not trying to impress, and it's trying to make sense. Inside, it's the same story. Forget about giant touchscreens and glowing dashboards. The interior is stripped to the basics, but still feels clever. The seats are made with mesh fabric, lightweight and breathable, and there's even a small bench set up in the front. Windows, manual sliders, no power switches. That's the Dacia way. Fewer things that can break. And here's something cool. There's no big infotainment system in the middle. You just plug in your smartphone, and boom, that becomes your key. Your music, your maps, everything. Dacia calls it keeping things. Essential but smart. They even added these attachment clips around the cabin called U-clips, where you can hook your bag, cup holder, or little organizer. It's totally modular, kind of like car IKEA. Under the skin, the Dacia Hipster isn't a rocket ship. It's meant for city life. It's light, around 800 kilograms, and runs on a small electric motor. Top speed? Around 90 km/h, maybe less. Range? Roughly 150 km on a single charge, which for an urban commuter is more than enough. You're not buying this to go cross-country. It's for short runs, daily errands, maybe dropping kids off or grabbing groceries. The whole point is affordability. Dacia wants to make this one of the cheapest electric cars on the market, somewhere around $15,000 if it ever goes into production. That's cheaper than most current EVs and even undercuts some small petrol cars. It's meant to compete with the growing wave of small Chinese EVs that are popping up everywhere in Europe. But Dacia's twist is that it wants to keep it European, rugged and legal for city roads, if the EU
And
that's where it gets interesting. Right now, the Hipster is technically a concept, because Europe doesn't really have an official K-car category like Japan does. Dacia is using this car to make a point. They're asking European regulators to create a new class for lightweight, low-speed EVs. If the rules change, this little Hipster could actually hit the streets. But if not, it might stay as a statement. A car that says, hey, we can make clean, affordable transport if you let us simplify it. Honestly, I love the idea. We've been watching cars get heavier, bigger, and pricier every year. You can't even buy a small EV without paying a premium for stuff you don't need. The Hipster flips that logic. It's reminding the industry that simplicity can be cool again. You don't need 400 horsepower or 5 screens to get around the city. You need something light, fun, efficient, and affordable. And Dacia knows their audience. They've built their brand on practicality. Cars that don't pretend to be luxury but still get the job done. The Hipster takes that philosophy and gives it a funky twist. The boxy styling looks modern in a retro way, like it's not afraid to be different. Some people online are already calling it the anti-Tesla. No. Massive touchscreen, no self-driving, no gimmicks, just wheels, battery, and a smile. Will it make it to production? Dacia says maybe, depending on demand and regulations. But even as a concept, it's doing its job, sparking conversations about what cars should be. In a world chasing luxury and tech overload, the Hipster is saying, let's go back to basics, but do it clean and electric. If it ever does come out, you can bet it's going to be a hit with city drivers, students, delivery riders, basically anyone tired of paying big money for short drives. And honestly, it's the kind of car that could go viral just by being different. Imagine pulling up in this thing. People would smile, ask questions, and take pictures. It's quirky, smart, and refreshing. So yeah, the Dacia Hipster isn't just another EV concept. It's a bit of a movement. A reminder that mobility can be small, affordable, and fun again. Maybe the future doesn't have to be about giant SUVs and endless screens. Maybe it's about a simple, honest car that just works and looks a little bit like a toy while doing it.